Hello, I'm Philip Stoten. I'm here at Productronica 2015 and I'm joined by Juergen Thurner. Juergen, great to see you again. Haven't seen you since Flex Days.
Since Flex Days, 1.5 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years ago maybe.
So now you're doing some new stuff and in a particular area of interest to me, which is supply chain. Give me a quick overview of what you're doing.
Okay, what we are doing, I'm working with a Swedish consulting company named MTEK Sweden. What we are doing is providing our customers advice and help in the areas of operational excellence and of supply chain design. So I'm more the part or the guy dealing with the supply chain design. My Swedish colleagues are more the ones dealing with operational excellence. So talking about operational excellence, this comes with a background of the in the electronics industry. So how to make an electronics manufacturing site fully utilized and highly efficient and effective.
Okay.
That's the idea behind.
Okay. And we're hearing lots of talk at the moment about Industry 4.0 in terms of operational excellence. I don't think we're hearing enough about it in the supply chain. IoT in the supply chain has huge value, and I know you lecture on this, but you're actually using this in some of the companies you're working with.
Not yet. I haven't seen a full deployment of IoT in supply chains in order to streamline supply chains, in order to speed up supply chains, but that's definitely something that will happen in the future. What we will see, especially in supply chains, is a requirement in two areas. The last decade or so, everybody talked about lean supply chains. Now we are talking about agile supply chains. And I mean, this sounds contradictory, but there is a symbiosis of both things. But this symbiosis can only be realized with the help of technologies like IoT.
Yeah.
So devices talking to each other by themselves. Okay, that's the basic idea. In order to make supply chains at the same time lean and agile.
Okay, and traceability as well. Traceability is a key, particularly with conflict materials.
Yeah, knowing at every given point in time, at every given place in the world, where is my part? When it can I expect the part to be delivered? When will it be arrive at final assembly or whatsoever? When it's ready for distribution? All these kinds of informations can only be done by technologies such as IoT. With sub-technologies like RFID. I mean, RFID is around for like 20 years or so. Yeah. Nobody has really deployed it to its full extent because everybody was fearing extra cost. At the end of the day, this extra cost will pay back a lot. I'm very convinced of that one.
Okay. One of the interesting challenges I've seen in the supply chain, particularly in Europe over the last few years, is the way the contract manufacturers have deployed themselves as supply chain experts, but also wanting to pick up that logistics business, the reverse logistics business, and having to compete with the DHLs of this world, the UPSs. How do you see that working? Can they do both? Can they be the excellent operation and the excellent supply chain?
I think they can, and I think they have to. What we are currently in a phase where this whole industry of EMS, or nowadays they call themselves supply chain solution providers, is changing from a classical, first it was a contract manufacturer, then it was an EMS company, and now they are turning to something to companies providing a supply ecosystem. That's how I call it, a supply ecosystem. This supply ecosystem includes not only the manufacturing capabilities or the testing or the final assembly, but also the logistics and, of course, the reverse supply chain. Repairs, returns, field services, these kind of things. And my personal belief is only those players who can offer a broad range to support this supply ecosystem, they will survive. Yeah. We can name a few. Like the former Flextronics, now Flex, is probably at the forefront of this development. They have a pretty widespread offering nowadays. I hope they can keep it because always, once you have such a widespread offering, you have areas that make profits and others that are suffering because they only need to catch up. It requires endurance of these companies to just be where you are, extend your services. Even if one of your services is not making money for the first 1 or 2 years, keep it up because that's what the market is asking for. Yeah. And the other development is talking about supply ecosystems. You know this term of 3PL, third-party logistics provider. Those are classically the transport logistics guys, like the DHLs and so forth. They themselves have to undergo through this evolution. Who were classically just freight forwarders, turned into service providers by providing large spaces where they do postponement services for their customers. Like HP is using a number of these 3PLs now for postponement services on their printer business. But their evolution is not yet has not yet come to an end with turning from a 3PL into a 4PL.
Okay.
Because there is the next step after the 4PL is the 5PL. And a 5PL is virtually only a broker of supply chain services.
Right.
Okay? So what you have to have is a kind of IT platform that allows collaboration on a specific subject, and then these 5PL providers, they can provide the entire service portfolio, from sourcing the raw materials, to manufacturing services, to global logistics, tracking, tracing, reverse supply chains, and whatever goes with that one.
Yeah.
And without having their own assets, just by bringing the right players together.
Yeah.
And I think that's a vision for the next 20 years or so.
And controlling that with the IoT, with this Industry 4.0, having that visibility, having that genealogy down the supply chain.
IoT is an extremely exciting new thing, and I'm really, really curious to see what will come the next 10, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
There are numbers saying by 2020 we will have 20 billion connected devices. I think that's not enough. I think we are rather going towards 30 billion connected devices. Things that we today even could not imagine will be there and will be a business model and will be a chance to make money.
Yeah, opportunities. Juergen, thanks very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the show, and thanks for talking to me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.